Hello there. Welcome to my views and news. Welcome on joining this live chat session. Can you hear me, viewers? Loud and clear, says Samuel Faleke. Uh, some new stories in this live chat for you. Firstly, an update about the drone strike which happened in Oromia around 24 hours ago. What was the target? I did a video on that this morning, so I want to share an update. Secondly, what is Eritrea doing? Another regional intervention, another intervention in a country, neighboring country. Did a video on that. A little summary for you for new viewers. And lastly, three very important developments from Tigray for you. While the region is devastated, still we are not seeing the unity which is required to rebuild the region. Three important developments indicating the chaos like situation which could happen in Tigray. Some say there's already a chaos there. Some say chaos like scenario could unfold. Let me welcome the participants who have joined. Klaus New never stops amazing. He's always amazing. He is the one who comments first whenever a live chat session starts. So it's very difficult for me to understand how does he manage. It seems he's waiting. A warm welcome to you, Klaus New. Daniel Abate, one of my longtime friends. Welcome, Daniel, after a break, I think, of a few days. Samuel Faleke, Lulu says Salam, interesting name. Tikim Tafira says hello. A says hello, Sajid. Aaron Davis says welcome, Mr. Sajid. Alex Ethiopian says well, stay, brother Sajid. Adam Ahmad Ibrahim, another regular participant now, says how are you, Sajid? Queen Sheba had joined too after a break. I think we were in touch when there was war in Amhara region, and she did some good reporting. I remember that despite having loyalties towards one group, she was very impartial in her reports about ADF's advance in the Amhara region. If I remember correctly, you're the same Coinship I remember, I think. Aaron Deva said, did think Abiy Ahmed without TPLF can try with Eritrea? I think you're saying, can Abiy wage war on Eritrea without support from TPLF? I'll respond to it. Speed 5, Teddy Man, Laura Powers. What about the measures to expose the corruption of trading passports and exporting immigrants to EU and US? Laura is raising a point. Abdi Rashid Jama says, hi, good afternoon. Elijah Kano back after a break. I miss you, Elijah, because you always share updates, you correct me. I miss you. Yene Musica, regular participant. Welcome, Yene Musica. Mihari Wenderite, a long time viewer, a friend back. MT Ilyas Likisa, a new entry, but regular participant. Queen Shiba says, yes, I remember Queen Shiba. Kidos McConnell, can you talk about the significant implication of a sovereign default, especially when it comes to domestic impact in the financial sectors? Gabriab Tekle Birhan, your efforts are appreciated. Thank you, Gabriab. General Komsa is back after a break. Didn't I tell you that a large amount of Fanos have been arrested and surrendered? I wouldn't second what you're saying, by the way. Samuel Faleke, Gizaber Yemasgan has become a member finally. Welcome, Yemasgan. Warm welcome to you. Stay in touch. Queen Sheba says, but now I am supporting Fano. Yeah, I know that. And Doc McConnell issue is not correct, but because Oromia, Tigray, country of Ethiopia, but relationship to country. Maisao Kasa, hello Sajid. I watched your discussion on whether Ethiopia would disintegrate or not. It was a junk assessment and looks it was written and given to you by people. I am not influenced by anyone, by the way. No one can give me anything to read. That is not how I work. You might not agree with my assessment, but I keep my independence. I ensure that I'm independent. Gizahagan joined to Ras want to Amiha Kasaya. Hey Sajid, I am attending you when time permit. Your representation updated and real. Keep it up. Okay, thank you. Mescall says hello. Now, let me first jumble join to from Gondar. Nathan Adiso. General Comsa says, I don't need a second. I have confirmed myself. Okay, General Comsa, obviously you have right to hold on to what you believe, but would share a confirmation once I have been able to confirm. I don't think large number of Fano fighters have surrendered because how many Fano fighters are operating? Number is in tens of thousands are operating. Surrender for a few thousand does not mean anything. And maybe surrendering by some Fano fighters is part of the plan. If Fano fighters have surrendered, if a few thousand have surrendered, maybe it's part of the plan made by Fano groups. I won't speak more on that, but I will talk once I am able to confirm that tens of thousands have surrendered in Amhara. It has not happened so far. Government has only claimed around 5,000 have surrendered. And you know what government's credibility is. Government can say anything. Now, let me share an update first to begin this live chat session. And that is about a drone strike in the Oromia region. Things are heating up in the Oromia region too, where talks collapsed between military and Ola. And now it seems that military is gearing up for some big offensives, including drone strikes. I told you about arrival of heavy weapons of Ethiopian National Defense Force in Gambela. Those were meant for Ola, reportedly. From Gambela, heavy weapons were seen heading towards Oromia. In Horo Gadoro Valega, a drone strike was conducted yesterday. Kambolcha district, Horo Gadoro Valega. Did a video on that this morning. And what was the target there? Some church officials have been killed and injured in this drone strike. And I said that maybe target was Fano or Ola, but I should find more information before giving you a clear picture, sharing a clear picture with you. Now, what I've learned from the ground is that Oromo Liberation Army and Ethiopian forces were involved in fighting in this area. In Kambolcha, some drone strikes were conducted a few weeks ago too. And fighting in this area between Ola and military has been confirmed to me by people who are in touch with locals there. It happened. Fighting did happen between Ola and Ethiopian government there. But in the strike, Ola members were not killed, reported. Those who were killed are people who are not active members of the Oromo Liberation Army. They're church people most. So why were they killed? Did Ethiopian Air Force make a mistake? Or Ola was operating in the area and the strike was not precise? Difficult to say. It's difficult to say. But the people killed are not Fano fighters. They're not pro-Fano elements. They could be linked to Ola, though we don't have any evidence for that. The target was Ola. Oromo Liberation Army was targeted in this drone strike by Ethiopian Air Force. But the strike was not precise or the intelligence was not correct. Around 10 casualties being confirmed to me. This clarification was very important because I said in the video this morning, that maybe Fano was hit because some local Fano groups are operating in Oromia too, especially in border areas, Oromia Amhara border areas. But here, target was the Oromo Liberation Army, and this strike shows that uh, military is going to rely on strikes, don't strikes, on Fano, on Ola, while limited ground offensive against Ola is being launched because Ola has intensified its operations too. I'll do a video hopefully after this live chat about Ola's new operations in Oromia. Military is also gearing up for ground offensives and air operations against Ola in Oromia. Queen Shiva says, Sajid, how effective is drone and any weapons against people? Were uprising in Afghan. It did not silence Taliban. Can government suppress the people by military force for long? Well, drone strikes reduce government forces casualties. Ground operation exposes military to attacks by foreign fighters. Military has suffered losses in Amhara region. So a way of minimizing this loss is that military should rely on drone strikes. Yes, in drone strikes, people could die too. Look what happened in Valaga. But military wants to minimize its losses. First strategy, first point which makes sense. Secondly, I think that drone strikes matter a lot if you get accurate intelligence. Drones cannot just operate based on the cameras which they have installed. Yes, they can conduct surveillance, but they need surveillance, they need intelligence from the ground. If the drone operators get precise intelligence from the ground, drones can be deadly. Drones and bombers, because Ethiopian bombers now have precision tracking capability. Ethiopia has acquired Tariq bomb, Tariq precise bomb system from the UAE recently. So I think drones are a problem. Strikes are a problem for Fano fighters. How will they manage? How will they survive? So far, they're surviving, but let's wait to see. But to say that don't matter and we exaggerate about drone impact, no, it's not exaggeration. Drones have wrapped up wars in a few days. Drones and air assets are now key elements in modern warfare, I think. And it's a war-like situation in Amhara, not a war, but a war-like situation. Alam Giza, a whole tribe was ethnically cleansed in Gambela. They did not show up for that. Yeah, the deployment is not about what is happening in Gambela. Hinok Kebrisilasi says, Shalom, Brother Sajid. Stay blessed. How are you, Hinok? What will happen after the 7-day deadline? Empty says. Nothing will happen. Air operation will intensify, maybe more ground offensives. What has been happening will continue. Otherwise, I think it was a psychological tactic adopted by the government, that government is on government has an edge over Fano. Fano fighters are suffering losses in drone strikes. So that is why right time to give a message of peace to those who want to surrender. Are they borrowing money to buy munitions? Elim says. Well, they're buying munitions, no matter from where they are getting money. They think that it's a war of existence for the government, so they'll buy ammunition, no matter from where they get the money. Rashid Gulid, what would be the impact of the loan default on the Burr? Yemaskan Exaber says, Sajid, I can tell you on the ground of in Gonda, there is no fun or surrendering. Will Ethiopia recently defaulting, will it affect the economic growth? Well, I don't know about economic uh, picture in the country, but if you fail to pay interest on euro bonds, it means that international financial institutions won't trust Ethiopia. They won't give new loans to Ethiopia because Ethiopia has defaulted. That is very simple. You don't need to be an economist to understand that. In order to get new loans, Ethiopia should honor its past commitments, which Ethiopia is unable to keep. That is why Ethiopian efforts to get bailout package from IMF, from World Bank are going to suffer a setback. And Ethiopia is in dire need of this bailout package. So overall, not a good sign for Ethiopian economy. Enoch says, Brother Sajid, do you think accepting of a letter from Abiy Ahmed is wise? Could you explain it a little? Abba Gode says, Sajid, you're getting wrong information about current Fano operation and state of the Ethiopian army in Amhara. Well, if I'm getting wrong information, sharing wrong information, correct me, but don't just say the information is wrong. Correct me where I made a mistake. What is right information? What do you have in terms of right information? You can share it with me. I'll share on my views and news. But just saying that information is wrong, I think it's not enough. Now, secondly, just a few words about Eritrean intervention in Sudan. Then I'll come to Tigray because the main topic of today's live chat is Tigray. But before that, let me speak a little about Eritrean intervention in Sudan. By the way, Eritrean intervention in Sudan should be surprising for people. Why? Because I think last year I reported that Eritrea was not happy with RSF's efforts to get close to Eritrean borders. RSF has been trying to thank you, Yemasgan, for this contribution. RSF uh, Rapid Support Forces have been trying to get close to Eastern Sudan. Traditionally, uh, thank you, Yemasgan. He is going to work after this financial contribution. Thank you, Yemasgan. See you. Uh, Rapid Support Forces originated from Western Sudan, Darfur. Basically, they were created by Umar al-Bashir, former ruler of Sudan, and they were created to crush uh, uprising in Darfur. But later we saw that RSF turned into an army. And from Western Sudan, it entered Khartoum, Central Sudan, Bari Darman. And it became part of the government. Both Burhan still is head of Sovereignty Council, top body in Sudan. Hamathi was deputy head of Sovereignty Council. So both were ruling in alliance. And meanwhile, RSF was trying to make inroads into Eastern Sudan. Eritrea always opposed entry of rapid support forces in Eastern Sudan. Eastern Sudan shares border with Eritrea. Eastern Sudan is under Eritrean influence. Why did Eritrea oppose RSF's advance in Eastern Sudan? Because Eritrea saw RSF as an ethnic militia which could create ethnic tensions in Eastern Sudan, on Eastern Sudan Eritrea border. Now, Rapid support forces have the potential of reaching Ethiopian border, Eritrean border. Why? Because they have moved from Khartoum Bari into Al Jazeera state. Backfoot says that he's late. No, you're not late. You're on time. Rapid support forces have entered Jazeera state in Wad Madani. And from there, they might make a move towards Gidaraf, towards Blue Nile state, towards Kassala on Ethiopia-Eritrea border. Ethiopia could support rapid support forces. Maybe silent support because Ethiopia and UAE are allies. UAE is supporting rapid support forces. Eritrea does not want RSF to come close to its borders. That is why Eritrea is now training the youths of Sudanese tribes in Eastern Sudan to fight against rapid support forces. So Eritrea has started a proxy war in Sudan, you can say. Eritrea won't send its forces to Sudan. Maybe in future it might send, but so far it is relying on proxy war. It is training, it is giving military training to the youths of Gidaraf, Kassala. General mobilization has been announced in Gidaraf and maybe in Kassala too. Sudan's military is recruiting youths, and youths are being trained by Eritrean forces reported. What will RSF do? Will it stop in Wad Madani or will it move towards Ethiopia-Eritrea border? That remains to be seen. RSF was warned by the US that it should not move into Wad Madani. It did not listen to US. Will it continue its advance? That remains to be seen. Eritrea has now become a party to the conflict in Sudan. Ethiopia is a party to some extent, but Eritrea is a now very visible party because Eritrea hosted Darfur leaders. It tried to create alliance between Darfur leaders of Juba Peace Deal and the General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. Let's see how the regional situation plays out now. Sudan has turned into a mess with the involvement of so many players. Egypt trying to keep RSF away from its border. Eritrea trying to keep RSF away from its border. Ethiopia, in alliance with UAE, might support rapid support forces. Chad supporting rapid support forces. CAR supporting rapid support forces. Libya was accused of supporting rapid support forces. Arab interest here too, Turkish interest as well. Russians accused too that Wagner operating there, or Wagner supported the RSF. Americans are here too. So basically, it's a mess what we're seeing in Sudan. Queen Shiva, but Sajid, do Pakistan and India speak the same language? If so, what is the difference between them? Well, I think there are more Muslims in India than in Pakistan. So India has more Muslim population. We can talk about the reasons behind the partition of the subcontinent, which created India and Pakistan. It would be a long discussion, by the way. What led to the splitting of the subcontinent? I can speak on that maybe in some separate segment. But they cannot be rejoined now. It won't happen. India backed splitting of Pakistan when India backed creation of Bangladesh. Bangladesh was part of Pakistan, but due to obviously mistakes made by Pakistani rulers, due to intervention from India, Pakistan was split into two, Bangladesh and Pakistan. So no likelihood of any federation or confederation. I think same is the case too between Ethiopia and Eritrea. No likelihood. Only a uh, nostalgic ideas by some Ethiopians who want to see the great Ethiopia again. Samuel Abe says, "Hello, dear Sajid. Hello, dear brother. I am not active follower, but I am following you and appreciate your statement on Ethiopian issues. Thank you for your support." Thank you, Samuel Abe. Your comment matters a lot. Ajit GW, do you think Eritrea will go to the rescue of Sudan if RSF advances to Kasala? I told you, I shared an entire picture with you. Eritrea is already coming to the rescue of Sudan military, but not directly, indirect, proxy war. Queen Sheba, but you speak the same language. Our language is not the same exactly. They speak Hindi, we speak Urdu. There are several languages in Pakistan, not just Urdu, and several languages in India, not just Hindi. Samuel Falake wants update on the situation in Tigray. Okay, this is the last topic, the most important one. Three updates for you from Tigray, very important ones. General Comsa, you talk with too much confidence on all your news. Well, I try to verify news before sharing with you. I make corrections. I keep myself updated. I keep you updated. Don't make big claims. I try to avoid exaggeration, try to avoid generalization. 120 ml winner says he's talking to Iskahan. Let's leave them. People can exchange views in this live chat. Queen Shiva says, but I support Indian cricket team. Okay, I support you. Music. Now, let me start. Tigray. Three important developments in Tigray. Can I start? Okay, first development. On Sunday, a demonstration is due to be held. I reported 2 days ago that a demonstration was being planned. And pro TPLF elements were opposing the demonstration. Why? Because TPLF was not allowed to hold a meeting in Makale. Opposition parties were not allowed to hold a meeting. They were tortured in Makale. Now, Tigray government is backing the demonstration due to be held on Sunday. I said that I would try to find out who is behind this demonstration. Is Tigray government behind the demonstration? And is it going to give permission for the whole demonstration? Now, it is being reported very interestingly that those people who tried to organize a rally in Addis Ababa a few days ago, and they were not allowed to protest in Addis Ababa, are going to protest in Tigray. One of the organizers of Addis Ababa rally has been interviewed by Messi McConnell. And he said that he's the one organizing the protest rally in Makale. And if you remember, when these elements tried to organize a rally in Addis Ababa, government declared them as supporters of terrorists. Government said these people want to create chaos in capital city by backing the entry of armed elements in the capital. They were arrested, and most of them were from political parties. But the same people are going to protest in Makale on Sunday. Though we don't exactly know how many of the Addis Ababa rally organizers are there in Makale. But Addis Ababa rally organizers could be behind the rally due to be held in Makale. And the organizer claimed in the interview with Messi McConnell that they had acquired permission. Makale mayor, Tigray interim government had granted permission for this rally to be held. And I said a few days ago that, well, not a few days ago, this morning I said that the agenda of the rally was Ethiopia specific, not Tigray specific. I mentioned their agenda points. These rally participants are going to call for release of people arrested on the basis of ethnicity. They're calling for discussions to resolve conflicts in Ethiopia. Their agenda is not Tigray specific, but it's Ethiopia specific. Isn't it surprising that Tigray government is allowing the rally to be held, while federal government put a ban on the rally? So I think we'll have to wait and see. Will the rally be allowed to be held in Makale on Sunday? What will be the message? How can Getachew allow this rally to be held while he did not allow opposition parties to protest? A few months ago, Getachew security forces tortured opposition party workers in Makale. But these organizers of the rally say that they have acquired the permission and they'll protest on Sunday in Makale. Let's see what happens. So I'm monitoring this issue and I'll share updates with you in coming days. First update. Second update from Tigray is about opposition parties' accusations against Tigray interim government. Few days ago, an Eritrean contacted me, an Eritrean man living, I think, in Europe. He said that Sajid, Eritreans are being abducted in Tigray. Gabriel Selassie Yebio says, Namaste Sajid. Namaste. I think our Hindu brothers use this greeting, Namaste. Barak Mo says, Sajid, do you think the instability in Ethiopia is worth so-called democracy? There is no true democracy in Ethiopia. We should not say that instability is because of democracy. Ethiopia has not seen true democracy. So instability is because there is no democracy. And the Eritrean said that, Sajid, you should speak about that. Our friends are being abducted. Ransom is demanded. I tried to find more information. I could not. But now, politicians of Tigray, opposition parties of Tigray are confirming human trafficking, kidnapping for ransom happening in Tigray. Not just Eritreans, but Tigrayans, well-to-do Tigrayans are being abducted and ransom is being demanded. Opposition parties in a press briefing accused Tigray government about stealing of food aid, about human trafficking, about violation of human rights. This is a very important development. The opposition parties are criticizing the Tigray interim government, that Tigray government, TPLF, are responsible for deteriorating law and order situation in the region. Third update from Tigray is about an alliance, four-party alliance formed a few months ago. I did some videos on that, but this alliance held another press briefing yesterday. Four parties are joining hands against TPLF, against Tigray interim government. The four parties are Tigray Independence Party, Salsivugene, Betona, Tigray Arena Party. In a joint press briefing, they announced to form an alliance for change. They're demanding a radical change in Tigray. They say that the monopoly on power by TPLF should come to an end. So we're seeing different challenges for the government for TPLF in Tigray. On the one hand, TPLF and Tigray government are at the loggerheads. They're meeting to create some sort of understanding and consensus failed. We did not hear about any agreement reached. Meeting went on for weeks. Nothing happened. Tension still continued. And on the other hand, we're seeing that opposition parties are uniting, putting pressure upon Tigray interim government, TPLF. They should open up political space for opposition parties. And whatever is happening in Tigray in terms of crime, in terms of law and order situation, it is being blamed on Tigray interim government, which should be held accountable because government, in the end, is responsible for what is happening in Tigray. So overall, we can say that there is a chaos-like situation in Tigray. I would say political chaos. Why? Because election has not been held in Tigray. There's no representative government in Tigray. Opposition parties are complaining that they are not being given legal space. EPLF not eligible to contest election. No one knows when election will be held. Election cannot be held now, maybe because Tigray interim government wants Humera Volga Segde Kora Melamota back before election. So lots of issues. Instability is set to continue in the Tigray region, it seems. I could not read any questions while I was speaking. So if you have any questions, you can write again, please. Ziggy says, Mr. Bad News, shame on you to try to create civil war in a poor country. What should I say? I am reporting about the conflict. People say you are creating. You should understand there is a difference between reporting about a conflict and creating a conflict. David Mibrato, what is Tegarai's position with respect to RSF? Interesting question, by the way. Tigray has not made its position clear. Tigray is not geographically attached with Sudan. Maybe it's not a big player. Escol says Tigray's strength, which was unity, is fading. Yes, Tigray remained united largely in the 2 year long war. That unity is being eroded now. Queen Shiba says, I feel TDF should take power until election is carried out in Tigray. Well, TDF is still a main player, by the way. And it matters a lot who TDF is going to support in this power struggle in Tigray. Enoch, do you think Eritrea and US relationship are on the way to get better? It might get better, but Eritrea does not want to form any strategic long-term partnership with the US. Eritrea is at Russia-China camp. Isaias Afwerki is the biggest supporter of a new world order. He's more eager to see the new world order than Russia and China. And that is what we have been hearing from him. So I don't see any strategic partnership between the two countries. Yes, relations could improve a little. ALG said the drone attack was not against Ola. I agreed, Sajid. What was it against then? I think it was against Ola, but maybe wrong intelligence led to the attack on church people. EASO says, so what will be the Ethiopian government reaction on the demonstration? Let's see. The organizers are claiming they have permission, but no statement from Tigray interim government or Makale mayor. We'll have to wait, I think. Aman Vanore has joined, one of the members of the channel. Welcome, Aman. If this rally, he says, if this rally takes place in Makale, Abiy will upset because he thinks it exposes his government autocracy and will come up with some idea soon. Let's see. So I think we'll have to wait to see if the rally is going to be held or not and who is going to be behind the rally. While now, when one of the organizers has made it clear that he is behind the rally, maybe Tigray government, Makale mayor, rethink and might not allow the rally to be held. So let's wait. Barack Moss, Sajid, will you make a TikTok to people on your live? What do you mean? Do you mean that I should be live on TikTok while I'm live on YouTube? I don't have TikTok account, by the way. Alam says you reported the channels who got money in their bank account. Can you do more of that and name names? No, I won't name names, Alam. I said that months ago when Abi transferred money to their accounts. It happened, by the way. Abi does not care about protest in Makale. No, he does care. He does care. In 24 hours, said this rally is different from Addis Ababa one. Let's see. One of the organizers is claiming that he's the one who organized the rally in Addis Ababa. It did not happen. And he's the one who organizing this rally in Makale. Sahile TV says, what are you saying about Tigray and Eritrea, war or peace? Neither war nor peace. Tigray retaliations can be summed up as neither war nor peace. Samson Tedai say, why Eritrea don't want to see Ethiopia in the Red Sea? No, I think Eritrea does not want to give its territory to Ethiopia. Ethiopia might get to Red Sea through Djibouti, through some other countries. But Eritrea does not want to give its territory to Ethiopia. Yene Musica says, Sajid, why not say names? You are a reporter. And are you thinking you're going to do harm by exposing? Well, when I got information through people, sometimes I make commitments. What I will do, which part of information I'll share, which I won't share. The people who provide information share documents with me, but I don't share the documents. They substantiate their claims through evidence, but I should not uh, violate my commitment with them. I honor my commitment with my sources. Red Moon Entertainment says Sajid is a snitch for Amhara extremists. Komsa says because Eritrea is scared of Ethiopian Navy. Yeah, everyone is scared of Ethiopian Navy, Ethiopian National Defense Force as well. Everyone wants to get their soldiers trained in Ethiopia. You're speaking like Behano Jula. Are Fano fighters as good as ENDF? I'll do a video about the qualities of Fano fighters. How is that they have managed to survive so far? What keeps them going? I'll do a video on that. And after that, I'll be accused of working for Fano. AZ King says, I am late again, lol. Lots of laughter means. No, you're not late, I'm here, AZ King. If you have any questions, I'm here. You're a member. I'm here for members, especially for members. S says, July, the finest channel in Africa. LOL. By the way, Sadkan was the finest channel in Africa. If you remember, I think an analyst wrote a piece in support of Sadkan when ADF was advancing in the Amhara region in Wollo towards Addis Ababa. And back then, Sadkan was shown that he was the greatest military genius in African history. And later, we saw that the drones forced the greatest military genius in Africa to revisit his strategy, and Fano fighters then rushed from Oromia Special Zone, North Shore Zone of Amhara, to Mekelle. So now Jula is the biggest and the greatest channel in Africa because ADF suffered losses. There is no big threat to Jula's army now. There is no big threat to government now. You can say anything about Jula. Johannes says your news is to be commended, but your analysis is somewhat flawed. You often forget your own reporting at the time and come to wrong analysis. Correct me if I'm wrong. Barack Moss says you don't criticize US for meddling with affairs in Horn of Africa. They even choose Pakistan president. Who agreed to US mediation between TPLF and federal government? Ethiopian government and TPLF both agreed. Who is agreeing to US mediation between Ola and government? Both are agreeing. Who was dying for resumption of food aid from USAID World Food Program? Ethiopia. Who was dying to get a bailout package from IMF World Bank? Both are US backed. Problem is that Ethiopian internal conflicts paved the way for US intervention in Ethiopia. Ethiopian groups, rulers are calling for this intervention. Blaming the US is not a solution. Resolve your conflicts on your own. Don't fuel conflicts, don't create conflicts. If there are conflicts, outsiders will always intervene because conflicts encourage and help external intervention. So Ethiopia should learn how to keep outsiders away. And Ethiopia has been one of the biggest recipients of aid in Africa for years. When it comes to reception of aid, US is to be commended. When it comes to US interfering in politics, it should be condemned. Why? Aid always comes with a cost. Beware says, will Ethiopia invade its neighbors to rally the country? No, I don't think so. So far, Ethiopia has lots of internal problems, no economic issues as well, no uh, chance of any external adventure. DW Ethiopia is talking about Volkayet. Can Tigray and Amhara agree to make Volkayet or Western Tigray a non ethnic region, or is that impossible? Well, I proposed 2 years ago that Tigray and Amhara should agree to a joint administration of this part of Ethiopia. Western Tigray, Volkayet, whatever you call it. But I was accused of working against Tigray, working against Amhara. I still believe that a give and take solution is the best one. Otherwise, this issue will always remain unresolved. The issue should be resolved at the table. Talks should be held. Public talks should be held. And if the two sides have the will to resolve the issue through talks, it can be resolved, whether through joint administration, whether through creation of a non-ethnic zone, to creation of a special zone. Several things can be discussed. But so far, both sides are holding on to their positions. It's 54 minutes have passed. I think we should end this live chat session. I spoke about the Don't Strike, which happened in Orogodoro Valega around 24 hours ago. It wasn't against Fano. There was no Fano there. Rather, there was fighting between Ola and military there around 2 days ago. The target maybe was Ola, but maybe due to wrong information, incorrect intelligence, people have been killed, not Ola members. Secondly, we talked about Eritrea intervention in Sudan. Eritrea is intervening in Sudan by training Sudanese youths to stop rapid support forces from reaching its border. Thirdly, three updates I shared with you from Tigray. In Tigray, an opposition alliance has been formed, four-party alliance against Tigray interim government, against TPLF. Secondly, kidnapping for ransom and other crimes are intensifying in Tigray. And thirdly, Tigray's capital, Mekelle, where a rally is to be held on Sunday. And one of the organizers claims that he's the one who tried to organize a rally in Addis Ababa, but he was not allowed there. Now he wants to hold a rally in Mekelle, and that Mekelle mayor has granted permission for this rally. Let's see if the rally will be held or not. We'll keep you updated. Thank you for watching, viewers. 55 minutes have passed. It was good to be with you. Thanks for joining and commenting. Barak Mo says, say something good about Isaias. Work with Eritrea before you go. This will show your objectivity. I always appreciate Isaias Averki's understanding of security situation in the Horn of Africa. I praised Isaias Averki for his diplomatic skills when he almost isolated PM Abiy when Abiy spoke about access to the Red Sea. But I don't support what Isaias Averki is doing to Eritreans. I condemn the human rights situation in Eritrea. I condemn the indefinite national service and conscription in Eritrea. So I appreciate Isas Averki for for the skill which he has, but I am not a blind supporter or opponent or critic of Isas Averki or Abid. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow again on another live chat session with new stories. See you tomorrow. Stay blessed. Bye bye.